A very good morning, dear viewer. This is CAPUCHIN TV, your Catholic identity. Today, Missions of Hope with I, Sister Esther Moturi. We have yet another group of great women in the Catholic Church who are going to tell us who they are, what they do in their quest to serve the people of God and bring hope to the society. Welcome and be with us. Welcome, sisters, to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is Missions of Hope. Please, sister, open for us with the word of prayer.
Most welcome. So let's bow and pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Loving and dear Father, we are here this morning to praise and glorify your name. You have granted us life and newness to witness your goodness. We are grateful. We ask you to be with us during this session of mission, of evangelization, that whatever we are going to share, the conversation that we are going to have, may enrich your people all over the world. This we ask through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Thank you so much, sister, for that powerful prayer. So we are going to begin off our conversation to tell our viewer about who we are. So we are going to introduce ourselves and introduce officially your congregation. We start with sister.
My name is Sister Karen Atieno Owor. I am a sister of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Nairobi, Assumption Sisters of Nairobi, or ASN. And I'm glad to be here in the studio today to be able to share the conversation that we are having to bring hope to our people. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. You are welcome. Sisters of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Nairobi. I know, viewer, you are used to Assumption Sisters of Nairobi. Today, you know the official name.
Yeah.
Is the Sisters of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Sister, what about you? Karibu.
Asante sana.
Yes.
Good morning, and I am Sister Anne Wanjiro Maina, a sister, again, I want to emphasize, of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Nairobi.
Thank you.
I'm glad to be at CAPUCHIN TV.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Feel free to share about your life, you as the people of, especially Archdiocese of Nairobi, particularly. What do you do? But before we go to that, who is the founder of the Sisters of the Assumptions of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Nairobi?
Yes. The Sisters of the Assumption of Blessed Virgin Mary of Nairobi were founded, I would go back to 1953, by the then Archbishop of the Catholic Diocese, Archdiocese of Nairobi, John Joseph McCarthy.
Okay.
He was a Spiritan, and he founded us in this Archdiocese of Nairobi, that we may be able to impact the lives of our own people. Him being a priest, he could not be able to found the sisters by himself.
Definitely.
So, but he had the vision. He had the desire to look for religious women who would be able to reach out to their own people in Africa, in Kenya, and with a special attention to the women and the girl child, and those that were underprivileged. It was during the colonial era, so women, children, those were underprivileged. So he wanted to uplift the dignity of these people. And he founded us and felt that the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi are the ones who could be able to foster this vision.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sister Anne, anything more on the charism of the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi? Allow me to use the shorter form.
Sure. On our charism, just like Sister has said, Archbishop John Joseph McCarthy, who was our founder and he still is, wanted to come up with a congregation of women from Africa who would be able to uplift the dignity of women and the girl child. And by so doing, he said that the best tool to use was education. So he brought about education, and he helped us to begin schools, and especially schools that were girl child. So we have schools that will maybe later mention, Akina Madaraka Primary, St. Martin's, Kibagare. So those are some of the schools that he helped us to begin so that we can be able to uplift the girl child.
Okay. Just on that point, now you had so many choices.
Yes.
To join, because I am sure there are so many congregations in the Diocese of Nairobi. You chose the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi. Could you take us along the process of your vocation journey? How did you come to know about the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi? And having so many other options, why choose Assumptions of Sisters of Nairobi?
Okay, I want to go back to the little Anne at class 3. This is when I first saw a sister. I knew at that age I wanted to do something in the church. But you see, because of age, I didn't know exactly what it was. Until I saw a sister from Nyeri, where I hail, and I was like, I want to be like that sister. Okay. Now, that was a dream, but then I didn't know how to go about it. At class 7, I still had the desire. Now, when I got to high school, at least now I had matured, and I would point out and say, yes, I want to become a sister. So I started journeying and checking, where can I join? Now, I had some friends from the youth who had already joined sisterhood, and so I visited some congregation. I visited at least 3 congregations before I settled on the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi. But I can tell you for free, Sister Esther, that I visited those congregations, and they were doing marvelous. Their life was beautiful. But I didn't feel at home. For whatever reason, I cannot really explain. Until this time when I visited the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi, I went for a live-in. I was there with them for 1 week, and then it came the material day for the 15th, the celebration of the Assumption of Assumption on the 15th of August. And it was this material day that I said, I want to settle with this congregation. And one thing that really struck me is the little girls that were dancing from Kibagare. Kibagare, it's in Nairobi, the sides of Kangemi. And these girls and boys were just doing it so well until I felt I want to settle with the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi. Of course, that was just one of the things, but I really felt at home with them. And this is the time I made my decision that I want to join them. Then I joined them the following year.
The key point, you felt at home.
I felt at home.
Keep feeling at home until the end. We reach the real home. Sure. Thank you. There is, sometimes it happens that once you have joined, the parents are not for what decision you are making, or if the parents are for the decision you are making, your relatives are not. What is your experience?
My experience with my family is that I had a very supportive family. Okay, we are a Catholic family. We've all been brought up in the Catholic faith. And when I told my mom and dad, and may he rest in peace, that I'd want to join a sisterhood, the only question was, are you ready? Have you made this decision fully? And could you, could you not give yourself more time to discern and to see what else can you do? So they wanted me to take some more time. But then, having finished Form 4, and then I went and did teaching, I felt at that time I was ready. So I told them, as at this time, I am ready and I want to join. So they said, fine, you have our blessings. So I didn't have many more challenges. They blessed me, and here I am today. I'm happy in the life.
Sante wazazi wa Anne. Sister Karen, I know you also have your story to tell about your vocation. There is a girl who is watching, and maybe she's going through issues. She's wondering, shall I ever make it to get to what I really dream about? Maybe your word can assist her. What is your vocation journey?
Interestingly, I'm very happy that there are still young people in the world that are willing to join this life. It's a beautiful life. I didn't know. I've experienced, and I can attest. So, unlike my sister, I hail from a Protestant family. So, my mom was Catholic, my dad, my mom is Catholic even to date. My dad was Protestant, but later on joined Catholicism. But I had the desire when we were Protestant, because you follow your dad.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand anything in the Protestant faith, but I used to go. So this particular time, my dad was policeman, so we used to move from everywhere. Yeah, when they are rotated, we move. So I knew so many churches.
Yeah.
But when we came and settled at home, I was in class around 6. I sneaked out with my cousins and went to this dancing church, the Catholic church. And I will forever be indebted to the PMC because that was my fire.
Okay.
I went to this church and I saw them dancing, and I was like, I didn't wait. I stood and joined. The unfortunate thing, I was removed from the queue. And I was made to understand that I'm not Catholic. I'm not of that faith. So why am I dancing? These people have a process. It was painful. So I went back to my dad. My dad loved me. So I went back to him and explained the ordeal. And he felt it with me. So I was given a go-ahead to go and do anything that can allow me to dance. So I went through catechesis and all that, and I became a Catholic. At class 7, I was already a Catholic. Unfortunately, in Form 1, I went to a Protestant school again, here in Kikuyu Alliance, and I never saw any sister. I never saw a priest. Actually, we were not able to see even priests or have masses. But when I finished Form 4 and went back home to the village, there were sisters in my parish. I come from Sega parish. We've been given another parish now. But at that parish, I was seeing girls who used to come, and they were so energetic. They were spirit-filled. They were searching for God. And I started following them. I think I'm a good follower. So I started following them, and wherever they went, prayers, I was there. I didn't know much, but I was just following. So for me, I had finished Form 4, so I actually sneaked. They gave me their letters to take to congregations. I actually borrowed an address, and that address was for Assumption. I don't know the reason why. So when I applied, it didn't take long like theirs. They were still students. I had finished. So mine came, and I was so happy. Then they called us for that, come and see how the sisters live. So I came, I saw. We had several other congregations to go to. But for me, when I reached Thika, that is where our formation starts, the base, where we were taken, and where our founder actually founded us, where our old sisters are, the young sisters are. A lot of our missions are around there. I was just at peace. And there was this sister, she was Ugandan. When we arrived and we were small people, she went on her knees. I was like, huh? How? So for me, I did not care what the rest of us who had come to see had seen. For me, I had seen.
You had
made a decision. The only challenge were my parents. My dad would not accept me to go into this life that he didn't understand. So going back home and trying to tell them that I want to go to sisterhood, my mom was happy. My dad was like, you can't. Unfortunately, I was also to go to the university the same time. So it was difficult. And somehow, one of our vocation promoters came home. My dad believed that sisters are poor, they suffer, they will be crying every day. When they saw the vocation directress who was full of life, and I don't know how she convinced my dad changed. And the next thing was like, go with her. So I went, and here I am. And I appreciate, I am at home. I've been here for many years. So the young person there who is trying to search for this vocation, please, it doesn't mean that if you are Protestant, you cannot start the journey. My journey is unique, and yours is unique. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Sister Karen. I think you are encouraging any Protestant who feel called to religious life and is wondering, how do I go about it? You should not give up. It is possible. I have seen so many religious men and women who are from the Protestant family. How God does his work, nobody can be able to tell. And we thank God for your parents and specifically for your dad. May he rest in peace for accepting. It doesn't just happen. I think my father did not fully give me out, but he came to accept later. It's not easy. So this is the journey of two great religious women in the studio who is telling us from where they have come up to where they are. You are now Assumption Sisters of Nairobi. What is that stage? There are different stages that you take as before you become an Assumption sister. You don't just go to Thika and become an Assumption sister. Sister Anne, could you take us through those stages?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, for you to become an Assumption sister, you begin with aspirancy stage, and this is the stage where you journey with the vocation promoter so closely that she's able to experience you right from home and from your life.
Yeah.
She's able to share with you the journey of your life and then help you come in. Okay. Now, once you come in, after maybe the few qualifications that we require as the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi, when you come in, you go through the aspirancy stage for 3 months.
Okay.
Then immediately after that, you are now accepted, or you are now allowed to join the postulancy stage, which takes 1 year. Here you are helped to deepen your faith, and then also you are helped, to come home, settle down, and slowly by slowly start climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
Now, after this postulancy stage, then you go to the novitiate, which takes 2 years. The first year, we usually do it inside, no outside apostolates. You only remain there. We call it the canonical year. And then the second year of the novitiate, at least now you are able to go outside to do the outside mission, and you also go for 3 months experience to our different communities. Yeah. After that, then on the 8th of December, we make our first vows at Karibaribi, where we have our mother house, and then you are now a newly professed sister. Okay. Now, that stage again of temporary professed sisters goes for 6 to 9 years, and it is at that point then one makes the perpetual vows. Okay. After the perpetual vows, then there is the ongoing formation for all the finally professed sisters.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is important for any parent to know, once your child has joined, we call it the formation house, she doesn't immediately become a sister.
Exactly.
Because you said after the novitiate is when she become newly professed sister.
Yes.
But yet the people at home, they knew she's already a sister. It's good to note that, that it is after the training that now you are a recognized sister, so that people can help people to grow at a certain given stages. Tusiharakishe. Thank you, sister.
Welcome.
The Assumption Sisters of Nairobi, they have different apostolates that they carry out. And before we go to that, we shall go for a short break. And then when we come back, you shall tell us what are those apostolates that the Assumption Sisters do, and particularly what do you do to serve the people of God. So, dear viewer, continue watching CAPUCHIN TV. This is Missions of Hope with I, Sister Esther Muturi, and in the studio we have the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi. Keep watching. Do not go away.
CAPUCHIN TV, kitambulisho Katoliki.
Thank you. CAPUCHIN TV, your Catholic identity.
Welcome back, dear viewer. I hope you are enjoying the conversation as I am doing, because I am really enjoying what we are talking about today. And if you have any comments, any recommendation, anything that you want to know, please do not shy away from sending us an SMS, or you can even call us, or you can write something on the Facebook, on YouTube. Tell us, what do you feel about the Missions of Hope program, and particularly these great women in the studio. Before we went for the break, Sister Anne was talking about the stages and what happens. Sister Karen, do you have more to add on that?
Yes. Sister went through the process of you becoming a sister. It's actually being schooled to be a nun. So you don't wake up and, as Sister said, and you find yourself as a nun. And all those stages are stages of formation. You are trying to search the will of God. It is not a one-day thing. It's a process. It's not a contract. For our parents out there, for the girls who maybe are thinking, I can get in and then I come out and go and work, it's not a contract. It's for you to continue deepening your love with your spouse, who is God, so that you can serve better, so that you can impact the lives of many. Thank you.
And I think that's why Sister Anne said there is an ongoing formation, even after perpetual vows. Thank you, Sister. I had wanted to know, what are some of the apostolates or the missions that the Assumption Sisters are involved in? Sister Karen. We, the Sisters of the Assumption of Blessed Virgin Mary of Nairobi, ASN, we are an active congregation. I say active because we are called to go out and immerse amongst our people and be able to impact their lives. So we are involved in so many apostolates, starting with social work, where we interact with our people, trying to understand their situation, counseling them. We are involved in catechesis, where we that is core for us, because if we do not school people into understanding what our faith is, we might not have vocations. So catechesis for all of us as sisters, whether you are a teacher, you are a doctor, you are what, it's very key for us. And then we have ministries in education. Education is very key for us, because our founder found it as a tool, not only for evangelization, but also a tool that empowers those that are underprivileged and opens avenues for them towards success in the mission of Christ, but also in their lives. So you'll find the Sisters of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Nairobi having so many schools, whether it is from the kindergarten, now they are different, the CBC and all that, but we are there, those stages, primary, secondary, and even institutions of higher learning. So if the sisters are not actually teaching, they are actually supporting the teachers at different capacities. Then we have the health sector, we have hospitals. I am a doctor, they are nurses, they are clinicians, there are also others in the different spaces in the healthcare where we serve. So we have hospitals, we have health centers, we have dispensaries and clinics, and we are also in hospitality. And if you look at J.J. McCarthy Center, we've named some of our schools, some of our centers, and our founder. Which is very important. Very key, very key. So in the hospitality space, we have areas where you can be able to rest, you can be able to have your conferences. We have it at St. Mary's, we have at J.J. McCarthy, we have it at Thika, and we also have other apostolates where you find us, especially in the social ministry, reaching out to the most underprivileged, just trying to support them to also understand that they are in this space out of God's love. And we have a home in Limuru, Cheshire home, which actually supports those that are physically handicapped. It's a very unique mission. It actually brings a lot of hope to the people who are around Limuru, because most of the time you'll find our people who are challenged, whether it's physically or it's hearing, they are hidden somewhere. But we have come up as a congregation to be with them, to support them. And if you go to Cheshire home, please go. They will challenge you. We have all our physique, but we don't do as much as they do. Wow.
When you go to Kitui, you'll find the school of the deaf. Our sisters have gone to a point of learning the sign language. I actually want to learn.
Yeah,
Because
good, yeah.
St. Mary's Mission Hospital, which is a hospital, is actually one of the hospitals that employs the deaf community, those that have hearing impairment. And there are so many in both Nairobi and Elementaita. And for us who have been privileged, we can hear. I think that is an area that we are giving hope to the society, that even if you have an impediment or you have you are challenged in whichever space, there are people who can offer you a job, who can be able to listen to you, who can be able to bring you on board so that you feel your dignity is uplifted.
Thank you, sister. Sister Anne, do you have more to add on that?
Maybe just one, that we are also in agriculture. We have a farm in Thika that helps us in being self-reliant, and it also helps our schools around, plus our formation houses, which are in Thika. Our Apostolates is in Thika, our aspirancy, and our novitiate is also there. So through agriculture, we are able to enable our postulants, our novices to feed, and we also ensure that our schools are well fed.
Oh, somebody could be looking at the sisters here and wonder, wanalima kweli. What do you say about that? You people, do you dig?
Yes, we do. I can assure you that when we're in the formation house, we have a very big farm, by the way, and it is the responsibility of the postulants, the aspirants, and the novices to work in the farm, which we really do. Some of us come when they are very green in terms of agriculture and farming. But then through our formation, we are able to gain the skills, and by the time we are leaving, you'll find even sisters wanting to do or to pursue courses in the line of agriculture. And
I think it's very important. Nowadays people are even doing agribusiness. There are some people who are saying they don't have work and yet they have land. Those lands should not be lying idle. People can become creative, maybe with the assistance of the sisters. We can help our people to understand that soil is very important. There is a sister, Anne. What is that you are doing in the society? I know you said you are a teacher. But then could you tell us how do you carry out your apostolate as a teacher with the sense of the mission? Because most of the time when we are there, maybe people tend to see us as business workers. In the aspect of missions, how do you carry out your apostolate?
Thank you, Sister Esther.
On behalf of the other sisters.
Yes. Now, this program is Missions of Hope program, and one of the things that we do as the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi is to give hope. Now, the first thing where we are is to evangelize. As a teacher, as a farmer, as a doctor, the first thing we do is to evangelize. And we evangelize by giving hope. Now, our founder, J.J. McCarthy, wanted us, to immerse among God's people and uplift their dignity. So we do this then through the different apostolates that we do every day. Could it be teaching? Those who are in the hospitals, those who are farming, those who are doing social work, among others. So the first thing, as a teacher, as a farmer, as a nurse, is to give hope as a sister. That is our very first mission. So we evangelize by being there with the people, assuring them that God is there and there is hope for today and tomorrow. Now, we do so then through other apostolates, like going to class to teach. And my teaching, then through teaching, I give that child hope. I will be able to understand one child after the other, and I give hope to that single child in class. I remember there is one of our sisters who could always tell me from Kibagare that anytime I come back and at least I've touched one child, I think that's all I had to do for the day. And I used to wonder, what do you mean exactly? Because there are so many children who really need help, maybe in Kibagare. But then she would say, as long as I've touched the life of one child, that's all I had to do for the day. But today I understand that she was meant to give hope. So as long as she's been able to give hope to that child, Sister Karen gives hope to another child, Sister Esther gives hope to another child. At the end of the day, everybody has hope and everybody has been evangelized. So we do this while teaching. We do this while in the social ministry. As Sister Karen was explaining, we have children who have been, you know, the society looks at them with a different eye. Like, there's nothing you can give. So we tell them, come, we need to give you hope. There's something you can do. Sure. Like children in Cheshire home. Yeah. Fine, you look at that child physically and you think there's nothing she can do. She's mentally challenged and she has developmental challenges, and therefore we tell her, fine, come, we want to uplift you. We want to give you skills that you can be able to go back to the same society and tell them, I have something to offer. So the first thing that we do is to give these people hope and to be there with them. I want to point out at one mission that we do in Canada, and we are in 3 archdioceses in Canada. We are in Prince Albert, Calgary, and what is that other one? We are in Winnipeg, yes. Now, in Canada, what we usually do, we are there to give hope, to just what we call the ministry of presence. Our sisters, fine, they are sisters who have masters, who are teachers, who are doctors, but what they are doing is to be there with the people. There is a burial ceremony somewhere, our sisters are there with those people, they mass among those people and they tell them, fine, your person has gone, but there's still life for tomorrow. You'll meet this person in the next life. Fine, so they are just there with them. If they are going to school, they go to children, they catechize them. They empower the few people that they are able to meet, whether many, few, 1, 2, at least to give them hope. So those are some of the things we do as in our apostolates.
Thank you so much, sister. And I want to concur with your sister, because as a communicator, if you are keen, what we do or what we say dear viewer, or we say dear listener. We don't put it in plural, we put it singular. Sure. But if one viewer is watching, my objective is achieved. Yes. So I concur with your sister. We are still going on with this conversation, is getting sweeter and sweeter. So do not go away. We are still continuing, because the sisters in the studio have more to tell us about the mission they carry out in the world, in the society. Keep watching.
CAPUCHIN TV, your Catholic identity.
CAPUCHIN TV, kitambulisho Katoliki.
Pope Francis states that religious people must go out through the door to seek and meet the people. Have the courage to go against the tide of this culture of efficiency. For our last segment of Missions of Hope today, we, the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi, and in the studio we have Sister Karen and Sister Ann, who have been talking to us on what they do, the missions they carry out, and how they carry it out. Sisters, we are in our last segment, so make sure that you give the best of what you thought you should have said in this program today. Sister Ann, before we come to Sister Karen, you were talking about the apostolate, the mission, and how you carry out your apostolate. Do you have anything else to add before we take it over to Sister?
Sure, yes, yeah. I do. That we carry out our missions both in the country and outside the country. Yeah. We are in Jamaica, and we are also in Canada, like I mentioned before. Yeah. And these are places where we are out to just give hope. In Jamaica, we carry out missions with our dear brothers and sisters who are affected and infected by HIV and AIDS. And our sisters are out there to tell them it's okay, and God has more for you in store. So just there being with them, helping them in the medical field, and giving them activities that they can do to be able to continue with life and to be able to sustain themselves. Yes, we are also in Tanzania and Njombe, where we are also doing education, social work, among other apostolates. Still, again, giving people hope and trying to educate people so that we can do away with some of the things that the society do, stigma kind of. Yes, and so we are there to give them hope and to tell them, fine, it is possible. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sister Ann. Sister Karen. Sister Karen is a doctor, daktari, hospitali, you know. So, Sister, how do you carry out the mission? And I know health is one of the key things, particularly today. There are so many ailments, terminal illnesses. How do you carry out your mission? And maybe if you have an experience that you can recall, you can share with our viewer.
Yes. Thank you, Sister. Sister Ann has really talked elaborately on what we do. And all that she has shared is done by around 210 of us.
Imagine.
The congregation in terms of membership.
So you still need more.
We need more. We need more, because reaching out to Canada, Tanzania, Kenya, in all the dioceses is not easy. So we need you. If you're listening to us, please make sure after this you can be able to disturb Sister a bit. So back to the health sector. I will just point out that for us sisters who have been called to touch lives in the health sector, it's very humbling. Because for somebody to bring his or her body to you, share those pains, and sometimes you have to go to an extra mile examining, it's really humbling for us who are there. And how we impact and give hope, especially I'll give my example. I've been in this journey at different stages, and I remember there's a time I was sent to the Maasais in a place called Ololo Itikoshi. If you are from Ololo Itikoshi, may God bless you, because even pronouncing that word was difficult. But when we went to that place, we didn't know how to handle the people there. Yes, there was a government hospital. The sisters were trying to put up a dispensary, then a health center, and we were a bit afraid because, you know, understanding different cultures is also not easy. But as Assumption Sisters of Nairobi, our founder commissioned us to be able to move with the signs of time. So this particular time we are in Maasai land. And I'm there as a clinician, and they are bringing for me somebody with something in the ear. An insect got into the ear. I don't know if you have the experience. It's like an elephant dancing in your brain. it's very, very bad. So the first thing that I did was to make sure that that insect is dead. By whatever means. So the movements are minimal and the person can be at peace. I didn't know that just that simple act made these people believe there's another God. They actually almost started worshipping me as a God. Which I'm not. But they ran to the village and brought us and the sisters a cow. Just for that simple thing. But the ministry...
To you it's simple. To them it's huge.
Exactly. So in the whole village, when we now wanted to progress with the mission of healthcare, it was so easy for us to navigate. They even took us to people. They showed us where the sick people were. They could bring us resources, and it was just from one life that we touched. I remember my journey. I was in St. Mary's Mission Hospital taking care of patients. It's not easy to be present. There are so many. In St. Mary's, they are flowing like, and if you stay for 5 minutes, they even knock the door. So you would wish to be there longer, listen, but you find you're limited. But this particular one, I gave just my limited maybe 5 minutes. And from those limited 5 minutes and what I was able to do, somebody felt this was exceptional. And that's how I advanced through education and to becoming a doctor. And now for me, the key thing as an Assumption sister is to give back. So that when I'm in that hospital as a doctor, there's a unique difference. And nurses who are out there, you can attest. Nurses, when we are putting the lines on our patients, sometimes we just prick like it's not a human being. Please try prick yourself. Put that thing on yourself, then you will understand when a patient tells you it is painful. You understand. So I go that extra mile to be able to identify. Identify with a patient when a patient tells you I have acidity. Don't just say it is simple thing. So I think being able to identify with the patient's condition is in a way an area that we are bringing hope. So you'll find people coming to us, not because we are the exceptional doctors, but I'll have a minute to listen. And I will be able to follow up, which most of us don't do. Please take care of your people if you are a healthcare worker, and take care of your people if you are a healthcare worker, and try to follow them up. We are losing people because you have given them too much medication. They've gone home, they don't know which one to take at what time. Some of them swallow everything. If just a healthcare worker, whether you are a social worker in the hospital, you are a nurse, you are a doctor, followed up and asked, have you taken the red one? Have you taken? That patient will have confidence in you and will come back.
Thank you, sister. Allow me to call you Dr. Sister Karen.
It's okay.
What made you to feel like this is the area that I should venture in as a sister?
I think mine is personal, sister. It came from the family. My dad, who was very crucial in my vocation journey, got cancer. And the way he was treated at a hospital at home, I felt there was a gap. And because he was not able to ask questions, they kept treating him for malaria, amoeba, simple things when the whole thing was growing. So by the time they were discovering he had cancer, it was too late. It had gone to all other organs, the liver, the brain. So dad died. So I felt, especially for these people who can't express themselves, who is there to stand for them? So actually, I wanted to be a gynecologist, but I thought of taking care of general population who cannot be able to come and say, I think, or if a doctor gives me this medicine, I can't ask for what. I felt that was my dad's position. Then my mom got into the same problem with intestinal obstruction. The intestines were tied, let me use that word, so that my viewers can be able to understand. And she almost died. It's the same gap. People not being able, yes, they've gone to the hospital, but the person at the hospital is not quick enough to know that this is the situation and this is what I need to do. Refer quickly or treat quickly. Because time is of essence in healthcare. So that is how I got into this passion. And when I got the opportunity, for me it's not because we want money. Actually, for a religious person, God provides.
He does.
But I wanted to make sure that people will not go through that same journey of my parents. I might not be able to impact everybody, but at least the ones that pass through my hands can attest.
Yeah.
I will always follow up. I'll always be thorough with my examination and in trying to understand their background, because it's not one patient.
Sure.
When one is seated, remember there's a whole family.
Yeah.
So it trickles back to the family, but that is my motivation.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So it seems that your experience impacted to what you are doing today. Please, dear viewer, whatever little thing you are doing, know that is very important to the people surrounding you and the people surrounding the person you are dealing with. Sister Anne, you have talked about Cheshire Home, and I heard mostly about Cheshire Home. What process do you take to get the children, or anybody can come from wherever, or how do you take in children to Cheshire Home and those other places?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, in these places, what you usually do, most of the time, children or girls are referred. Yeah, because these are girls that do not have maybe a space in the society, or maybe their parents have them at home, but they do not know exactly what to do with them. So we are here to tell you, dear parent, if you have such a girl with maybe developmental challenges or mental challenges, that at Cheshire we are able to help such girls. Now you can refer, which maybe later on we are going to give you contacts where you can be able to reach out to us, and then our sisters working there can come at home, look at the situation of the girl, and then liaise with the parents and see how best can they be helped. Now we have also maybe reached out to girls from the streets. We have CMO Center in Karen, where we are also able to help girls maybe from the streets, and also from families with maybe challenges, to uplift those girls, maybe with skills like cookery, computer skills, tailoring, to be able to give them these skills, then they go back to the society and they are able to sustain themselves.
Okay. Is there age, or anybody can come? For example, those who are physically handicapped, at what age do you take? You can take anybody?
Mostly they are girls maybe who have completed Form 4, so that also communication becomes a little bit easier.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But then, like I said before, our sisters will have to come maybe for a home visit to observe and look at the situation, and then after communication maybe with the parents, then from there we make the next move.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, we have talked a lot, and I thank God for what you are doing in the society. Please keep that, because at the end of the day, it's not whatever mansions you built as a sister, is not whatever you did, is how much life did you touch. So I want, as we come to conclusion, Sister Karen, you can greet people from home. I forgot to tell you to greet them. And then you tell us if you have a number, you can shout it. You shout out so that people can get you later, maybe for your vocation promoter or what.
Okay, before I greet the people of home, that mission that the Assumption Sisters are doing is very vast, is big. So people out there, we also have friends of the Assumption. So if you want to join this mission, please, the number that I'll give sister to shout so that they can get it from one person, you can be able to use that number to join us if that mission that we are doing is touching you, so that we can be able to support the community as a group. So Mom, how are you? My sisters, Connie, Rosie, my brothers, and all the people that I have touched their lives, those in Naivasha, those in Nairobi, those abroad, may God bless you for also giving me the courage to continue. We love you, and may God continue empowering you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Karen. Sister Anne, shout out the number they can get you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then the number is 0722 913 265. 0722 913 265.
And then to your closing remark.
Thank you. Now, I want to invite all of us, whatever we've discussed here, we can only be able to do it, we as the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi, with your help. Because These things that we do, it's not business. We rely on your help. We come to churches to request you to help us to support those girls at Cheshire Home, to support the CMO girls, to support the School of Deaf in Kitui, among other missions. We do all this because you help us. Kindly support us so that we can be able to support the society at large. And to all our viewers, I want to encourage all of us that we may be able to listen to the society of today, one person at a time, empathize, and then give hope. And I think we, the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi, should partner with CAPUCHIN TV and CAPUCHIN at large to be able to give hope. Thank you.
So
God
much.
bless.
Sister Karen, closing remark?
I think for me, because this is Missions of Hope, I would wish to just echo the words of John Paul II, that I plead with you, if you're at the verge of giving hope, never give hope. Never give up, because the sisters here are here to listen to you. If you reach out and just share your problem, we might not have the solutions, but we will listen to you. And a problem that is shared is partially solved. Please don't give up hope.
Thank you. And finally, your anthem as we close the program.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
If we stand.
It's okay.
Ah, nice. Sisi ni watawa wa Bikira Maria aliyepalizwa mbinguni wa Nairobi, tumeitwa kushuhudia kupitia uinjilishaji, upendo, kutumika na kujitolea ni kauli mbiu yetu. Twajitoza miongoni mwa watu, tukifuata nyayo zake John Joseph Makadhi. Wote wawe na maisha na wawe nayo kikamilifu. Wote wawe na maisha na wawe nayo kikamilifu.
Thank you very much, Sister Karen and Sister Anne. That has been Missions of Hope with I, Sister Esther Muturi, and in the studio I was with the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi. For now, it's bye-bye till next Tuesday. God bless you.
CAPUCHIN TV, kitambulisho Katoliki.
Very nice. It's right. By the way, which shape is this? But you can see it has formed a nice shape. You can see the way they have come out very well. Hexagon? Very nice.